the Jesuit ethos are summarized in 4: competence, commitment, conscience, and compassion. There are many. There are 10 Jesuit values, but we summarize them in four values. So we came to Siavonga to strengthen ourselves intellectually, morally, and spiritually. We came for a training on a value education.
The purpose of this is to focus on a theme that the Jesuit feel will be able to build a total student in their schools. The theme is on value-based education, the education that focuses on values in an attempt to make our students catch these values as they are growing up, and this will make themselves better people as they go on into the society. We are not only looking at values, we are also looking at making our schools safe environments, not just for the learners, but also for other staff, the ancillary staff, and the teachers as well. And the idea is to define what are values and what values are particular in a particular area, because you find the values that people hold are different, especially depending on their beliefs. The belief system that they have will build on to the values that will later on have and will reflect on their characters.
The values-based education is quite clever because it helps schools to identify what their values were, and saying if the teachers don't model the values, if the school doesn't highlight these values, the learners won't catch them. And so the values are almost like a foundation stone. If I respect you, I will not harm you. So we have that values base in the program. They've taken this a step further in incorporating values into the whole school.
Firstly, I actually appreciate the workshop. There are a number of key takeaways that you have picked. And the very first one is to look into the values of individuals. Previously, when you look at a person behaving a different way, you just focus on why is this person behaving like this. But through this particular workshop, I've been enlightened to say that the behaviors, they emulate from the values that someone holds. So if we understand the values of individuals, we are going to be able to understand the behaviors of different individuals. Now, coming from a school setup, we have different people that we interact with. I interact with teachers, I interact with students, the support staff. Now I have to understand them based on the values that they actually hold.
The important thing also, the listening, because nowadays we do not have time to listen. Most of the time, people outside they are suffering from what? From within, because there are no people who can listen to them. And if we develop this attitude of listening, we build the good society, the best society that we long for.
We looked at what it is that is in our schools that doesn't make it peaceful. From the small conflicts that we have, from solving students' problems.
So right now, as I'm sitting here, I've also been asking myself where I am coming from. Is there really peace? And you get to self-introspect and realize that some of the things that I have been doing also may have contributed to not having a peaceful environment in my institution.
I would expect an educator to first of all stop and reflect on their own practice. What am I doing? What do I believe in? Today I gave everybody a questionnaire where they had to see what they thought. And it's quite a challenging one, because when you've been a teacher for a long time and schools have rules, We're told if the children don't follow the rules, they're undisciplined. That's the word you're going to hear. But are the rules fair rules? Who invented the rules?
Discipline, from the way it has been brought out, I think it has enlightened me in a number of ways. Because a number of issues were raised, how discipline should be handled, and the aspects of discipline which most of us didn't understand.
So I think that I would look for a teacher mirroring this, listening more, relating better to children, especially the troublemakers. You know, because what is easy to do with troublemakers is write them off.
Previously, we used to actually look at someone who has done something wrong to say, what is the punishment for this one? Whereas I'm moving out of this particular workshop, it's a thing of questioning why is this person behaving like this. So the moment we understand each other in that particular way, we are able to form a person instead of actually just punishing a person for the sake of the person stopping doing whatever he was doing. But now we should help to reform that particular person by looking at the root of the cause of that particular behavior.
The challenge that we are facing in our schools, and students are just focused in their rights, not duties, what also they can do.
So we are trying to make sure that in a spirit of compassion, because we believe that one of the elements, one of the values of Jesuit education is compassion. So we make sure that this person can also understand that is valued, even if he has made something, can grown up, can change his behavior.
Because the times we have had people, we have had flying colors in terms of academics, but if we look at their behaviors, it's totally different, it's something else. So we are saying that we need to inculcate these values in our learners, to catch them young, so that in everything that they do, be it sports, be it academic behavior, in everything that they do, they need to inculcate these values.
Of course, we say that values are not taught, they are caught. In this way, they are caught in the process of teaching them and showing them the good values that are there in the schools that are actually run by the Jesuits.
It's a very critical workshop where we're doing critical thinking. It's not you come to a workshop where you are being given answers and solutions, but it's us who are going back into our groups, looking into our situations, analyzing and coming out with solutions, so to speak. This is what we have. What do you think? What do you suggest?
Teachers are not very willing to change. That's part of the problem. But let's hope that when we do a bit of work like we're doing here, there's a mindset shift and we get somewhere. And it's incremental. It's not rocket science or aha moments. It's little bit and little bit.
So this one is very important because it is going to help us maintain our students, help to build them as human beings and understand them that as human beings they go wrong, and then we have to help each other stand up again and do things right. So that is the first thing that I would like to implement in the school the moment we open the school.
The first step is to have a type of a workshop with the teachers. Like I was saying, value-based education has to begin with you or me. So if you don't talk to the teachers, they buy into the idea and they go through this, I could say, transformation, then they can also go on and implement what we're talking about.
When we go back there, if someone walks into a Jesuit-run institution, there has to be a difference between someone walking into a government-run institution and one that is run by the Jesuits in terms of these values that we are trying to inculcate in the young people.
It's working with everybody in a whole school approach. It's not saying it's just the teacher or just the head teacher, it's everyone.